Hello everyone, my name is Olectralab and welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel, depending on whether or not you've been here before. And today I'm going to be going through every skill in the Epic Fight mod. Basically just a quick summary of what each skill does, all the different things you can do, the moves, the sort of the commands, how you can do rolls and phantom jumps and all sorts of that kind of cool martial arts related stuff within Minecraft. So the first skill that we have here is called Impact Guard. Reduces stamina consumption on guarding. The player can now guard against explosions and fire magic and all that. So this is a lot of these different books have specialized blocking to certain things. So the fire magic or whatever would be considered like a blaze attacks you. You have like slight resistance to that, and also arrows, and I think like witches, like potions and that, you have slight resistance with this. Is Impact Guard. Normally when you use the book, the skill actually gets consumed. So if I go game mode survival, and we're in survival, oh yeah, some of these are stacking as well. So in order to use Impact Guard, you actually have to learn the guard skill first. So you would find the guard skill, you have to learn, and you go ahead and click this, and the book will be consumed, like you literally, like you eat it kind of in the game. And once you've learned the regular guard, you can go ahead and learn Impact Guard. So like it's like stacking skills, like when you have to earn like silly little belts in a dojo or something, because they got to farm you for that money. Except instead of belts, it's books. Okay, next one we got here is Hyper Vitality. I've already got this applied, so it's not gonna be consumed when I do this. But this one is, what is it? It adds extra health to your bar. So if I go, you can see already, I've already got it enabled. I've got 2 extra hearts, and this is just kind of like a stamina boost, I think, that's gained just from knowledge. I guess that's the idea, is you read the book and it gives you the knowledge on how to get more stamina. So now you have more stamina. Next we've got Forbidden Strength. I personally don't like this one. I don't like it because it drains your health, and I don't think that's a particularly good idea. I can see why there might be scenarios in which you might want to use it, but I'm not really one for this. When you click Learn on one of these advanced skills, you have 3 slots, and you have only 3 slots. You can use one, like you can use 3 skills, and you can only use 3 at a time, so you got to pick. Got to be picky. This is not one I normally pick because it gives you like a strength boost, but it's it sort of like it drains your health kind of thing, so it's not really a thing I like to do. Next we have we have Endurance. This is a passive skill. Passive skills are my favorite because you don't actually have to use them to take up a slot. They just sort of are in the background. I was wrong. That's wrong. I think I might have misinterpreted how this works. But this thing will add a little bit of extra stamina to you when you get hit while preparing for an attack. So if you're winding up your fist to go and whack a thing, and then it blocks you, you get like a little bit of a boost. I think that's how this works. Next one we've got here is Emergency Escape. This one is definitely one of my favorites. This is the one where you can press the Alt key, and you can actually do a forward roll in like any direction, and there's a whole little animation and everything. It looks awesome. My favorite thing to do with this is probably the Phantom Ascent roll, which is where you do a Phantom Ascent and then you roll, and it looks kind of like the parkour from the good old days of Minecraft. I mean, not the good old days of Minecraft, the good old days of YouTube, when like parkour videos were a thing, and you'd see all those people who are super cool, and they'd go whoo, whoo, down a big flight of stairs, and it would look awesome. Except now you can do it in Minecraft, which is an added bonus. Anyway, that's that one. Next one is Demolition Leap. I don't really like this one. I will just briefly equip this. It's like you hold space and then you let go, and it launches you. It's super awesome looking, and it looks like a thing from anime. But also, downside, you take fall damage when you land because your thighs are so thick with muscular muscles that you can actually damage yourself from falling from the height that you're capable of jumping. And that's the thing I don't like. Also, when you have it equipped, it messes with Phantom Ascent. So you can't have Phantom Ascent and Demolition Leap. And arguably, Phantom Ascent is just better in every way than Demolition Leap. Demolition Leap is cool, and it looks awesome, but if you angle it wrong, you take fall damage. So if I do Demolition Leap and I just go straight up, then I can literally die from falling back down to the ground. That's how thick my thighs are with never skipping leg day. Next we have Death Harvest. This is a skill that allows you to regain a weapon charge when killing. So, in case you didn't know, weapons have charge in this game, or with this mod rather. So, in order to use these weapons, they have a charge. Not all of the weapons have a charge, but ones like, say, the longsword, this one actually has to be charged up in order for you to use the special attacks. So, in order to like fully swing around, you have to be charged up. Also, there's a thing, you have to actually have hit entities in order to charge the long sword skill up, and then you'll do like a cool little spinny animation, and it'll like wind up and you go whoosh, and then it'll go zap. Also, you'll notice like skills with the spear, you have a stamina bar that sort of appears, and it starts to get drained if you use too many skills at the same time. But that's not super important. One of them is parry. We've already got this on, so we don't really need to do this. This one's good. It's actually a skill that allows you to block arrows as well. And this is actually one of my favorites, because you can do the thing. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers, but back in the day, I think it was like 1.7.10, or was it 1.8? Was it 1.9? I can't remember. One of the Minecraft updates, they added the block with the swords, and you couldn't do it with both swords. But you used to be able to block with one sword. But this will actually stop arrows. So if I just demonstrate this, by summoning a skeleton, I can do this, and it sometimes... Okay, that didn't work, but sometimes it does actually work. If I can just get him to shoot at me real quick. Oh my... Do I not have the skill equipped or something? Did I forget to equip it? That could have been what it is. I'm just going to quickly get out of range. Where is it? Where is the parry skill? Unusable. You must learn guard skill. Oh, okay. I have to learn the guard skill twice. So, I think you might actually need 2 guard skills in order to activate the parry skill. Okay, there we go. Now we've got it. So, you have to basically do the equivalent of sort of like practicing guard. But now, you can deflect arrows with your sword, which is actually flipping awesome. This is one of my favorite skills. Because instead of having to carry a shield... Okay, you gotta be kidding me. I hate Demolition Leap. I'm not a fan of Demolition Leap. This skill is literally the worst. It takes ages to charge up. It's just not practical in combat. The only thing it's practical with is, like, I don't know, special effects. Phantom Ascent is definitely way better. You can see with Phantom Ascent, I can like dodge, and it's like I've been going to gymnastics for 20 years. I can literally dodge arrows. That's how good my gymnastics skills are. Look at this. You can't even hit me, skeleton, because I've gone to gymnastics class. Anyway, so I'm having so much fun with this parry. I'm going to get rid of him now. Sorry, skeleton. Out of your misery. Alrighty. The next skill we have is... Wait, have we done this? No, we don't need to do this. I'm not going to demonstrate that one because it's not super amazing. Berserker is pretty good, actually. This one just gives you extra stamina. It's like a boost. You get an additional strength, essentially, just from being a berserker. I don't really need to demonstrate that one. It's kind of self-explanatory. This one, Hyper Vitality, is basically just an overall buff to your fighting skills. Forbidden Strength, that's not one I really use, we already covered that. Meteor Slam is actually kind of cool. I don't really like it. I think it's just is really dramatic. Like really dramatic. I don't know if that's the right thing to say. It's an attack where if you jump up and like you jump from a really high height, it'll like slam into the ground and make a huge massive crater where your sword hit, like some sort of anime protagonist. I can't remember exactly how to trigger it properly. It's pretty cool. You kind of get the idea from the little picture that's of the thing. Then we have Revelation. is Eye of Hawk. This is basically just increases your Swordmaster skill. So with that skill enabled, I can now spin my swords almost as fast as I can in real life, but in Minecraft. Also, I do love the cool little sword skill with the Swordmaster, where he actually like spins around and he does like a bullet jump, twisty, spinny sword thing. It's pretty good, and it is actually pretty effective at taking out enemies. If I were to summon a bunch of skeletons here, oh yeah, I'm very dead. I'm not used to fighting from that perspective. It's just not a very good perspective. I'll come over here. If I'm attacking an enemy right here, it's probably not the best demo. I need wither skeletons, because these regular skeletons, they're just not as good at taking out. I'm just going to summon as many as I can before I die. Come on. Oh, come on, this is really annoying. I'm not a fan of this silly fingers. My sausage fingers just can't seem to do the job properly. Alright, okay, now we've got a decent amount of enemies. This Swordmaster skill, when it's paired with... what was the one we were doing? Whatever that one is that we were just doing before. This skill is great when you're taking on a horde. But you also have to be careful how you use it, because we're currently in hard difficulty, and just because of the way that damage stacks from stone swords, charging into a huge crowd with this skill, even though it feels like it should be a good idea, and it should work, it won't work, because each sword does like, what is it, like 6.57 damage, and when there's just a crowd of them, even though it probably shouldn't actually do that much damage, all of those swords add up, and you're just going to die. But if it's only like 3 opponents, you might have a chance of using this Swordmaster skill if you're strategic about it. As you can see, I just died there, but if you can get them into a line, and then sort of just pick them off, you can phantom ascend them and distract them, especially if they're going in for the kill. Right as they're going in for the kill, they got me there again. You wait until they're going in for the kill, and then just before they strike, you jump over them. And sometimes you manage to sync all of their attacks up at the same time. So if you get them in a crowd like this, and they're about to strike, and then you phantom ascend them, and then they're delayed because they've just swung, so they don't have enough time to recharge, and you can use the Swordmaster skill to take them out. And it'll sometimes work on even bigger crowds. You might even get like 5 wither skeletons. Oh, that's wrong. You might even get 5 wither skeletons at once with this. If you can get them all the crowd. They have to be like crowded in like a really tight crowd, and you have to get them to all swing. And sometimes you can take like a whole crowd out just by getting them all to strike at the... You have to sync them though. They have to all strike at the same time and miss with the phantom ascent. And then... oh, that was so close. And then sometimes you can get them all with just one Swordmaster sweep. But honestly, the dagger is actually probably better for that. Like an enchanted dagger will probably do a faster job, just because the attack speed is so much higher. With this thing, you can really get in there and deal a lot of damage very quickly, and you actually stand a higher chance against multiple against multiple opponents with this dagger. If you got that right. Come on, that's better. I'm not super good at fighting in third-person perspective because I can't actually see where my mouse is aiming. When I'm like this, I can see who I'm hitting. Doesn't always mean I'm going to be any better though. Come on, survive. No, we did. Anyway, I'm getting distracted here. There's a couple more skills we have to cover. We've gone over most of them. Stamina pill. Calm down, my man. Spear. Okay. Stamina Pillager. This one gives you a ton of attack damage and the boosting of stamina when you actually get a kill. This can be really, really good if you're fighting massive groups, and arguably better than Hyper Vitality. That's pretty much that one. Swordmaster, we've already basically covered that. I already had this one sort of equipped since the beginning. Step is like roll, but it's not as good. So if you have this one equipped and you press Alt, it'll like make you rush, except it's like a more pathetic, sad, not as good version of roll. I would definitely recommend if you can get a roll book. The roll is just infinitely better than the little slide thing, partially because it just looks cooler, but also you get like an extra amount of distance. The only difference being with the stamina bar. The roll will use up more stamina, which means you can only use it 5 times before your stamina bar is completely depleted by default. Whereas in the little sidestep there, uses a lot less stamina, so you can be going around for ages and not get that tired. So depending on the scenario, it's sort of depending on how you'd use that. But that's pretty much everything. That's basically every skill that you can learn, and each of these skills slightly does modify how you use weapons too. For example, with the Swordmaster skill, you can see that these are the weapons that you can actually apply this to. So there's regular sword, there's Uchigatana, and then there's a long sword and a Itachi, and all of those will be affected. But things like the dagger, I'm not actually sure, is the dagger affected by this or not? Let me just check. No, dagger doesn't seem to be affected by this. I think there's different skills have different effects on different weapons. But yeah, also it can just look really cool. I mean, we've got this, the baton kind of just acts like the sword. Some of these have different like secret moves. Like this one, it's got a bit of a samurai vibe to it. This one, this great sword, is absolutely horrendous at striking speed because it's anime levels of tungsten density heavy. But it looks pretty cool, and I think it has a special move where you can charge it up. And that's right, this is the one that breaks the ground. This sword is so heavy that it will crack the ground into little bits. So don't use it on your mum's lawn, or she'll be very disappointed in the cracked quality of your front yard. And you'll never be allowed to play with the swords on the lawn ever again for a whole month at least. So keep that in mind. There's also just like cool extra items come with this mod. The main tutorial of how to use the sort of controls is sort of over now, so you can leave if you just came here for that. But if you just came here for the soft, soothing sound of my repetitive, annoying voice, then feel free to stick around for the extra however many seconds it's going to last. The boxing gloves are sort of good if you're wanting to do PvP with other players and you don't really want to kill each other, you just kind of want to sort of practice fighting. Obviously, all of this is just sort of left click. You just sort of spam left click to activate everything. There's nothing super complicated about that. The spear is pretty good, and with pressing Control and W at the same time, you can actually get this lance movement, which actually does give you a pretty decent reach advantage. So if you're fighting like melee mobs like zombies or anything that doesn't really have a ranged attack, this is definitely going to give you a massive advantage. You can also guard with the spear, so you can right click and hold guard, and this will actually deflect arrows if you have the parry skill after the guard skill already learned. And if I quickly just go game mode creative, because there's a couple of extra things in here. There is the Uchigatana, and is it the Tachi? I forget which one. One of these has an extra special move. There's also these stray robes that you get with the mod. Is it the Tachi? No, it's not the Tachi. It's the Uchigatana. This one actually comes with a sheath, and it has this really cool special effect move where you can do this and sort of astral project. It's kind of like it's like Misty Step, where you can sort of briefly step in and out of dimensions in order to go super fast. But I'm not sure how often you can do that. It's pretty cool though. I do definitely like the cool sound effect that comes with it, and the little whooshing motion. It gives me very Fruit Ninja memories, and Fruit Ninja was pretty fun. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider hitting that little subscribe button and making a meaningless statistic go up in order to promote this kind of unfathomably bad violence across the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely evening and or afternoon or morning, and I will see you in the next one if you stick around. Goodbye.